Right, 1570, good luck. That should be green. Just gone green there. Opponent's gone berserk as well. And what was that, 8,000? 8,300 games my opponent's got. C5 early on is an invitation to go into the Sicilian. I'm going to go an early B3. I don't normally do this line, but keep it traditional Reti style. So because opponents use berserk mode, opponent has now got 5 minutes instead of the 10 minutes, but berserk mode is just not for me, not something I'll be using. Actually, I'm going to bring the knight up first because we've got a potential outpost, but otherwise just develop. He might look to try and just charge on the diagonal, but yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Just keep it in the spirit of the Reti opening that I'm playing. Just click anywhere to clear the markings. Queen comes down, so what's the idea there? I mean, okay, the knight's pinned, but what else are you achieving? I don't actually see. I'm just going to develop and prepare to castle. The bishop can't come down. Oh, queenside. Okay, wants to get really aggressive. Maybe I drop the knight back here then and have regard for these pawns flying down the board. I want to do that, so I've got the option to go forward. I break this pin, so either knight can now move. Oops, if I can do my arrows right. Yeah, knights come forward. No, I'm gonna take the risk and castle. If you sack, I can take with the bishop. So that's not a viable sack. That's still covered. If you take, it's covered multiple ways. But knight up looks sensible. Either knight up, yeah, it's just basically launching one. What about a move like e4 or even e3 initially, just to kick that knight out? It does weaken this pawn, but I don't really want to restrict my bishop here. Is there a way I can sack and open things up? I'm not sure there is. I'm just going to go knight forward. I might actually take with a pawn if takes to free up a square for the knight, but I'm not sure that's sensible. If you fly down here and take, maybe I go with the f-pawn. I'm not sure. We'll just spend some time trying to figure it out. Right, the knights come forward. Okay. So we've got the option to take and get rid of this annoying knight. Or we can just try and fly forward. But can I sack here, I'm wondering? If you take knight across, take, we open a file. It looks like a sensible sacrifice to me. I just hope I'm not blundering something here at the end of the line. But I've got the option to take the knight and bail out, so I'm going to push and try and create counterplay. Knight check would be nice, but the bishop covers. But if you take, I've got the option to take and then jump across. Maybe just the immediate knight across, as long as I'm covering this check. And I'm threatening to then just basically try and open the file up and activate my rook. That's the general gist of the idea I'm aiming for. But this knight is very powerful in the middle. My bishop's not doing a lot. So I like the idea of taking here, knight across. The pawns are all split wide open. That's what I'm going to do. If I play knight here, I attack the queen. You can't defend the pawn on either square there because of both knights. So, do we have anything here other than taking? I don't see it, but take and attack the bishop. And then maybe a move like pawn up and try and encourage the file to open up. Maybe we've got knight across. We've got options. Nice to have options. I don't particularly want to do this and kick the knight back. So I still want to work on this. If you take right now, I can't immediately take back. So I think I'm just going to play queen up and just attack the pawn, but the real move I want to play is just bishop up. So he has pushed forward. So now do I do this? If you take, I take. If you take, I just take back. I've gained a piece. If you drop back, I take here, then maybe push. Oh, I could just let them take. I'm going to go h3. I wonder if my opponent might actually sack the piece here. Might do, it doesn't. Goes back, okay. Okay, now I'm going to go g4 and see how bold black really wants to be here, how aggressive. f4 might be a move, and maybe even f5. This knight is not protected by anything, so I've just got to watch out for some sort of attack on the knight. Again, I'm not in any rush to try and get this pawn. I'm really, like I said, just trying to open files up, so the real move here might be pawn up takes and rook takes, and then the queen's in a lot of trouble here. Okay, it's just developing, so that's what I'm going to do now. If you take, I'm going to take with the rook, and then the queen is in an awful lot of difficulty with not a lot of squares, if any, to run to. Bishop down. I think I just take here. So I'm going to do that. Now I can't move the pawn across, so I'll hope to activate a rook and put pressure on this way. If this knight moves, there's a lot of pressure coming here as well, so might be an option. Not quite sure how just yet. Right, does indeed choose to launch one there. So take, knight takes. We've got knight back to attack the bishop, and then unleash the diagonal. That's quite a dangerous threat, actually, I think. Knight back. What have you got? Maybe just bishop back. Rook across. Takes, obviously, is a serious threat. What about pawn up then? Attack the knight. Actually, I'm going to go f4 and attack the knight. With a view to playing g5. If knight back, I think I'll just take. So we'll just take that knight. Goes with the bishop. So now I think I've got g5. So this is reasonably solid now. If takes, I can just take back. Opponent's got barely a minute left now. That's the risk of berserk mode, of course. I'll actually pre-move that in case takes. I don't think will. Although, no. We've got the option to take with a pawn and open the file up. So taking with a pawn might be sensible there. It fixes these pawns, can activate the rooks. Probably this one, something like this. Okay, plays bishop across to attack the rook. So there is a check now. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of it. But check. If you move, I can take back here and the bishop guards. So that seems very strong to me. So I'm actually going to ignore this rook and just throw the check in and try and grab the bishop. It's very easy to miss that this is actually double covered now. Okay, it comes forward. So I'm going to take and attack the rook. Okay, take. So where do we want to go now? Now I assume I want rook across, and if rook over, I just get my queen out of the way somewhere. And that seems very logical to me. Okay, now I don't go here because of the bishop, so I'm just going to drop back 2 and recapture. Now I'm keeping an eye on the clock as well. Oh, now that allows me to play across. Oh, actually it doesn't. Because of that bishop. That was my original intention, so we can't do that. So maybe a move like d4. Or maybe we target this pawn. How do we do that? Maybe queen up. Actually, I think I'll take first, then queen up and try and come in. Just create multiple potential threats depending on what black does. And we're just trying to keep our king safe. Oh, that wins the bishop at least. Yeah, it depends where the king goes now. The bishop covers a diagonal, so we could take a pawn. If we take... Well, you have to go there. But I don't see an immediate follow-up, except the rook would hang, wouldn't it? Yeah, just take and collect the rook. You have to come forward because of the bishop and the queen. So now collect the rook, threaten checkmate. Throws in a check. So I assume we just step across here. I don't see anything better. There's a checkmate threat on the board. Okay, does see it. So bishop up might be a move. Check might be a move. Rook across is definitely a move. Then we threaten check. So I think I like rook across. Connect the two pieces. Threaten check here. Okay, so there must be a checkmate coming. Let's check here, and that looks like checkmate. And it is.